Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? It's proclaimed the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to another episode of The Spread. I'm your host, Jim Sella, in studio with co-host Jay Dash and Big Easy. Keeping that Steeler coverage going. Camp battle, Markus Wheaton, Sammie Coates.
When's camp start?
July.
So it's not really a camp battle.
It's going to be a camp battle because Martavis Bryant decided to smoke weed and get suspended for what, the year? 10 years? The rest of his life?
It's a spread projected camp battle.
Yeah.
Well, you remember going into last season, Markus Wheaton was considered the number 2 as well.
Believe it. And then Bryant took over.
Well, they don't run too wide very often, so there's going to be 3 receivers in the game most of the time. And I believe Markus Wheaton will be in a slot in those situations.
Side note, how many passes does Darius heyward-bey catch? Over, under 40 for the season?
Well, you had 21 last year, 314 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm going to say something around the same thing, so under.
You think under?
Yeah.
No Martavis Bryant. He's going to see a lot more action.
Well, Sammie Coates, I think he's the one that's going to step up and play a bigger role in this offense.
No Heath Miller. Where are those catches going to go? Ladarius Green?
Well, with Darius Green, that's another reason I don't think Darius heyward-bey is going to catch 40 passes, because Ladarius Green's going to command a lot more throws from Big Ben as well.
Did you see on social media the hot topic is Heath Miller may come back to the Steelers?
No, what?
Literally, that's on social media. It's been trending for most of the day today, that Heath Miller may come back to the Steelers. I didn't read any of the articles because I'm pretty sure it's bullshit, so I'm just not going to pay any attention.
Well, yeah, I'd like to know. That'd be awesome if Heath Miller came back and played a backup role behind Ladarius Green.
Run them both.
I told him.
Hang him up.
Hang him up.
Easy loves it when people hang him up.
You got to hang him up.
He's been trying to get Heath Miller to hang it up since like the 3rd year of his career.
You should hear him in baseball segments.
Keep your brain
Dude's
right.
30 years old and you got to hang him up.
Keep your brain right. All right. Well, let's get back to Wheaton versus Sammie Coates. Obviously, Sammie Coates has, no stats, 1 catch or something last year. He didn't get any playing time.
1 reception, 11 yards.
He was a rookie. He played in that playoff game. What did he have? 2-3 catches, 61 yards?
I think he had 2 catches, but, I mean, they were short passes, and I seen him outrun some defenders, and he looked very good. And, I mean, even when they drafted him, they knew he had high upside. That was his one thing. He was a high upside player, but he just couldn't catch very well.
Wheaton had 44 catches last year, 749 yards, 5 touchdowns. Most of that came in that big game, 9 catches, 201 yards versus Seattle. So without that 201, he has a shade over 500, which is pretty much his career average. Can Wheaton, if he's the number 2, step up and get 1,000 yards? Because there's going to be 2,000-yard receivers in this offense, most likely.
Well, there wasn't last year.
No.
Well, that was mostly because
you got to remember, Antonio Brown
of injuries.
Is the 2 1,000-yard receivers.
And Le'Veon Bell will be back next year, who was almost a 1,000-yard receiver in his rookie year.
Yeah, I'm not going to guarantee there's going to be 2 1,000-yard receivers, because you brought in Ladarius Green, Markus Wheaton, you got, obviously, Sammie Coates. So they got some options out here. They like that Eli Rogers. We'll have to see what he does as well. Darius heyward-bey, like you mentioned before. There's a lot of targets out here, so I'm not going to say that 2 guys are going to have 1,000 yards.
That 7th-round pick, Ayers, I forget his first name, he's projected to be the punt returner. He's at least given the opportunity to be the new punt returner and kickoff returner. I'm sure you're happy about that, because I know you hate Antonio Brown returning punts.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. Antonio Brown will be in there on the 2nd punt of the season, probably.
Well, as long as this guy doesn't fumble, I think they'll use him. And then if it's like a need, where we need a big play or something, they can throw Brown out there to try to get some momentum. But with no Martavis Bryant, if you lose Antonio Brown, you're really screwed.
Well, we'll have to see. That's where Sammie Coates comes in. Can he step up and take it to the next level? I mean, I believe we've seen that upside in him in that playoff game. But, I mean, 2 catches isn't anything at this point. You got to go out there and show that you can do it over a full season.
Yeah, I can't really say I'm not going to say I don't see upside, but I'm not going to say I see upside out of 2 catches. The sample size was way too small for me to really have any opinion at all, honestly. I'm not around the team. I don't get to see him in practice. I hear that the team really likes him. I hear that he does really well in practice. He just has a little bit of problems with dropping the ball, just like he did coming out of college. But of course, the team's not just going to come out and say he's garbage, he doesn't catch anything, and we all hate him. So unless you're there, you don't really know, or until he actually does it on the field. But there's no reason to think that he can't do it on the field, because obviously they believe he can, and they've done pretty good with wide receivers as far as the last, 5 to 10 years, I guess.
And like I said, coming out of college, everybody knew he was a monster athlete. It's all about the receptions. Is he going to be able to catch the ball? But we've seen Martavis Bryant doesn't catch the ball very well either.
Yeah, he was one of the league leaders in drops and missed 4 games.
5, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, with an injury.
Yeah.
Easy, over under 50 catches for Sammie Coates.
I'm going to say over. First of all, there's 6 games against the division, Baltimore, Cleveland, Cincinnati. I see no reason why Sammie Coates can't dominate those 3 teams.
Well, remember,
and he's going to have to step. Remember what?
Well, you brought in Ladarius Green. He's going to be a big target. How many guys do you think had over 50 catches for the Steelers last season?
3.
There was 2. Who do you think they were? Obviously, one is Antonio Brown.
And Wheaton was the other.
No, it was Heath Miller.
Yeah. Well, they had to send him out in style. Well, he's taking Heath's catches this year for sure.
Well, he needs to take some of Martavis Bryant's catches as well. And Martavis had 50 catches last season. I could see similar results out of Sammie Coates if he can step up this season.
Dash, what do you think Mike Wallace's stats were in his rookie season?
Crap, I don't know, man. It can't be that big.
39, 756, 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
His second year, he had 60 for 1257 and 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, but didn't he step into a
starting role?
Yeah.
But there's no reason to think, if given the opportunity, as long as Sammie Coates can make the catches, that he can't do something similar to the 39 for 756. So Easy's 50, I don't think, is really too far out of the realm. I think it's actually a pretty good number. The way Ben's going to throw the ball this year, he's going to throw it a lot. They're going to probably try to ease Le'Veon Bell into the lineup if he's even there on the first day. He's not necessarily 100% healthy yet. But I think Coates has the opportunity. I'm not a giant Wheaton fan, but I'm not a Wheaton hater. He's solid, but I think he is probably not the best option for number 2. I hope Sammie Coates can step up and grab it away.
I'm gonna start calling him Sleepy Coates because he's my fantasy sleeper this year.
He looks like the Predator.
He could have a good season. I mean, you obviously know Antonio Brown's going to get a ton of targets. He had 195 last season, but Martavis Bryant had 92 in, 11 games, like we said. Is that how many games he played last season?
Yeah.
So if Sammie Coates can just stay off the drugs, I mean, he could play a full season. So he can get over 50. I just don't think he's going to step right into Bryant's role and just not miss a beat necessarily. I don't think the team's going to miss a beat offensively, but I think it's going to take more of a team effort with a lot of these receivers. I think Wheaton's going to have to step up a little bit. And like you said, you think heyward-bey could catch double the passes this season. So I don't – 50 catches is right around the limit to me for Sammie Coates this season. But he's not a guy you want to target a lot either. He's a big play guy.
Yeah, he averaged over 20 yards a catch in college. I know you like Wheaton better on the outside than the slot, so would you prefer Wheaton to win 2, Coates to stay 3? And like you said earlier, they always run 3 wide receivers anyway, so really they're all going to be out there at the same time. So do you want Coates in the slot, or do you like him better outside?
No, I think Coates is an outside guy too, and I'd rather see him in the outside, and I'd like to see Eli Rogers push for a bigger role in the slot.
I wouldn't mind if we had to go with Wheaton one more year in the slot, and then obviously Coates would have had to step up to be that number 2 guy on the outside, because if Wheaton can give us something similar to last season, he's going into I believe this is the last year of his contract, so it's pretty good production. You might be able to get him as a restricted free agent after this season. I don't know if they're going to bring him back, but I that would be good production for me, especially out of the slot.
We'd have to see what the price is on them. I mean,
way they restricted free agent, I mean, it's limited for them, so we could get them for like 2 point something or, for 1 year. But then the long-term deal would have to be done after that.
Yeah, we'll have to see where he's at that point, I guess. I don't know. I think they're good at drafting wide receivers. And some of these guys they have in the organization right now could step up and play a bigger role in the future.
All right, so Dash, just as a guess right now, obviously you've not seen any camp or anything like that. Who do you think could be the number 2 receiver day one?
Between Coates and Wheaton.
Yeah.
I think it's going to start out as Wheaton. I'd rather see Coates. I hope he does such a great job this offseason that they throw him right into that number 2 role because he has huge upside.
Easy?
I believe, yeah. He's going to play a vital role. And I really see him dominating the division. Like, I see him making big plays against these garbage teams in our division.
Against Willie Jackson III.
Believe it.
Who the Steelers let the Bengals take. Yeah. We tricked them into it.
Tricked them into it all offseason. They got Mel Kiper, all these people to say that he was good. He's really like a 7th-round pick.
Yep,
yeah, dude's garbage.
Well, I hope Coates steps up and plays the number 2 role. I think he can do it, so that'll be my bold prediction as of right now. Haven't seen anything. None of these guys have done anything, so it means nothing until they actually get on the field. But fans, let us know what you think. Hit us up on Twitter at bet_the_spread. Hit me up on Twitter at betjimthewin. Check out the Facebook page at facebook.com/betthespread. Keep coming back to YouTube. Keep clicking subscribe. Keep listening because we're nearing our 500th episode, and it's going to be an extravaganza.